Hello everyone, I hope you're doing very well. So we're doing a couple of things today. We are making coffee campaign day 25 and Fish is going to turn up in a few minutes and we're going to look at kind of moving some units around in the coffee campaign to kind of make things a bit more true to life, a bit more realistic, we'll say. We'll go through that in a bit. First of all, until he turns up, let's just start. So coffee campaign, we've punctured Kobiledi down here and we've got a little enclave down here, and we've managed to secure that. We've got a brigade of infantry, we've got 3 platoons of IFVs and some ATGM and some SAM down there now, so it's relatively safe for the time being. So what we thought we'd do, we've spent 4 missions down here now, jump back to the northern front. So the role play goes, I mean, this isn't amazingly realistic, but with 2 fronts it's kind of hard to work with both. So the story goes, for the last few days there's been an impasse here. We've got the blue units here that Fish laid down and the red units here that he laid down as well, and they're kind of battering each other across the Zugdidi River here, but no one's actually made the push yet. And day 25 we want to actually make the push, so that's what we're going to do. It's all about these bridges. It's going to be the battle of the bridges. So we'll go through that, but before we do that, let's just start. So what we do every time we go in and do a coffee campaign day, the first thing that we have to do is remove any units that were killed on the last mission, day 24, day 23, whatever it was. Let me just check. So what was killed was, we didn't kill, so it was all about the blue fleet. So the first thing I'm going to take the SU-33s off today. They're not flying today. Admiral Kuznetsov, Grisha, the crews are still alive. The Noistrashimis, is the Noistrashimi down? Which one did we kill? It was Auntie killed this one. Auntie killed this one, didn't she? Noistrashimi. So what we do is we go pew, we turn the Noistrashimi into the Moskva. Right, so that's the red fleet as it stands. Annoyingly, we were meant to kill this fleet last mission, but we fucked up. The Vegans fucked up, and so the whole campaign has had to be, well, it's rewritten. It's based on results basically, so we've had to redo everything. So what's happened now is that these guys are going back to Batumi, which is where they're actually based. They're going back to the harbour here. And the reason is the roleplay is that they've run out of ammo. Well, that's not even roleplay. They did literally run out of ammo. They killed our carrier. They launched like bloody 50 sandboxes at us. It was a bloody nightmare. It wasn't even meant to happen. It wasn't in the roleplay. It just happened. And because it wasn't in the roleplay, we're going to leave it as that. We're going to say, yep, the carrier's destroyed. It's a pain in the ass for us because we've just lost our biggest asset. But, you know, that's how war goes sometimes. The reason they managed to kill our carrier is because our air defense just isn't working. These guys are bugged here, and again we're kind of we're just going to accept it, play with the role play. Oh, so we've got to delete our carrier. It's very frustrating. Oh god, then goes our AWACS. Oh, we'll just say the AWACS has had to land on the ground, obviously, there, don't we? So the AWACS is now based at Wadada. Pew. Mr. Carrier goes boom boom. I'm actually back in just a second. Right, I can't get comms working with Fish, so I'm going to have to give up on that. We can carry on making the mission at least. So here's the port. I don't think the ships would go right into the port. They will kind of stay out here a bit, wouldn't they, to get, and then a ship will come out to meet them, I imagine, something like that. Why can't I angle the ship? Am I having an absolute mare or something? Okay, for some reason I can't angle him. It's annoying. Ah, it's because the waypoint's there. Ah, that'll be why, mate. So, waypoint, delete. Now I can angle him, so it's just going to be there. 0 knots. Kind of something like that, I guess. Just coming into... Waiting. Right, I've got to get the coordinates of this boat to give blood. So 41405 413919 Easting. Let me just send that over quickly. Okay, cool. Right, so we'll kind of do it on my screen, if you know what I mean, and you'll just have to advise me. Right, so we did manage to get Fish in the end. Remind me what your qualification is for this, Fish? People don't know you.
That's okay. Basically, military intelligence reservist. So I've got a fairly good understanding of how the Eastern Bloc countries construct their forces and, in theory, would fight us.
Roger, cool. Right. So what I'm doing today is I'm making today's mission, which is day 25. And what we've been doing lately, I don't know if you've been watching the fights, we've been concentrating down here, attacking fleets down here, bases down here. And today, day 25, we're going back to here. If you remember, you laid down all these units for us. Do you want to quickly explain the rationale of what these units you've put down? So we know roughly what's going on there.
Yeah, basically you've got sort of... Sorry. Carry on. 2 battalion-sized fighting units, manoeuvring groups, one to the north, one to the south, heading down towards the busy urban areas on their way towards the enemy.
Roger. What does a battalion mean? How many units is that, or is it not a unit quantity?
Kind of depends. They're all slightly different. I know yesterday, one of the battles that was on the YouTube, there was a brigade mentioned. Now, a British brigade with about 5,000 infantry.
I don't know. I'm not an army guy, obviously. I've just read on Wikipedia that brigade is 100 infantry, so I thought that sounds about right. So I've obviously got that wrong then. Whoopsie.
Well, the thing is, different forces, different countries use slightly different terms depending on their own makeup. But in general,
Roger. Okay. So I've got 2 battalions here. So my role players, this isn't very, very realistic, but it's, we can only concentrate on one front at once. So my role play is that the blues here have been wanting to push in, but they've been held up by whatever reason, logistics, orders, artillery, whatever. But we're finally ready to push across. So what we're going to be doing today is pushing the blues across and trying to support them, and it's all about trying to help destroy these units with close air support, A-10s, Harriers, Vigans, stuff like that. I see you've got some nasty nasties. You've got a cub in here, so that's going to need taking down. What other SAMs have we got? It's so hard to identify what SAMs are in here. We've got Tunguskas, we've got an SA-3. We've got... What have we got in there? Ground attack units. Oh, we've got some artillery units. Did you put the helicopters in as well?
Yeah, helis. You'll get some transports and some ground attack choppers will travel with the armoured columns just to give that little bit of air cover. They'll always, if they manoeuvre and engage the enemy on the offensive, they'll take air with them.
Roger. So what I'm going to do is, at the moment, because they haven't got orders, they're just going to, as soon as the map starts, they're just going to kind of go home and land. So what I'll do is I'll add orders for all of them, just to kind of fly around, just to simulate them doing things. So I'll do that. Iglas, another cub. No, that is the same cub. Right, so we've got an SA-6 and SA-3 covering all of this, so that needs to be dispatched today. Another SA-6, what range is that? That's not in range. So we've got one SA-6 to worry about. We've got one SA-3, so we can deal with that. We've got short range SA-13s. We've got, we've got another SA-6. So we've got 2 SA-6s, one there. Did you put the SA-6 and SA-3 in, or were they already in there?
I think they're left over.
Yeah.
They were there before, I'm sure.
Yeah, bloody campaign. Right, so we've got the SA-6 there, we've got an SA-6 there, we've got an SA-3 there, which are all really hardcore. We've got artillery attacking whatever it's attacking. We've got another SA-3. Bloody coffee campaign. So we've got an SA-3 there, SA-6 there. I thought we destroyed all this stuff, but it must be the ones that were further up. That's annoying. Got the SA-3, SA-6 there, SA-6 there, SA-3 there, no, SA-2 there, with SA-3 launchers. That makes no sense at all. So I'm going to change that. SA3 there, now working. On SA, where's the SA6? There. SA6 there, with the correct units. With close range support, Tunguskas and stuff. And we had a combined SA3, SA6 there. Where was it? This is a Borka with SA3. But that doesn't have a track radar, so that's not going to fire. So this needs sorting out. And SA6 with a no track radar, so that needs sorting out. Oh, right. It sounds like we've already destroyed the track radars for these. That's why. Right. Okay. That's why they've not got a track radar. So these guys are neutralized already, because that won't fire without a track radar. These guys I've already neutralized already, so that won't fire without a track radar, so I can get rid of them now. This SA3 can't fire without its track radar, which is was a UAZ. What's that? No, that won't work. So this unit's been taken already, or the looks of things that can go. That's independent. Independent. So I'm just going to double check. This SA6 was active, wasn't it? Where has it gone? This SA6 was active. It's got a radar. Yep. And this one was faulty, but it's now fixed. Check. Right. Sorry about that, but it's just clean up I have to do for the previous mission. So SA3 there is working. SA6 there is working. SA6 there is working, but out of range. So that's right. Next, I'll get the helicopters, and I'm just going to make them fly around and pretend to be doing jobs. That's probably all I need to do with that. So what would these helicopters actually be doing then? Are they close air support, or...?
Yeah, they'll just accompany. You'll have like a detachment from whichever corps it may be, fly with the armoured columns.
Yeah.
They'll compose, and then they'll just deploy as required.
Roger.
The same as we would deploy Apaches as part of the air cav. We'd put them out on the carriers and stuff. So it's no real different to what the West would do.
Roger. Okay. Well, they're not really going to be doing anything here per se. They're just going to be flying around and just trying to be a nuisance pretty much, but they're doing that now. Right, so we've got the ground units. Now the ground units, they're just static at the moment, and that's pretty much how I think I'm going to keep them for the mission. Now, what would be cool to do is have them charge in and fight the blues, but in reality, it will probably crash our server if we do that. So I'm hesitant to do that, so I'm just going to have to keep them static, I think. We've got a lot of Urals in there. Are they like logistics trucks?
Yeah, that's the forward recce troop. So that'll be part of the first company that will break off and head forward, try and blend in, and then report back to the rest. They'd probably be a bit further forward than that, but you can't have them all over the map.
Roger. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Right. So what I'm going to say is the Reds, as an extra task for the Reds, they can blow these bridges up. That bridge, that bridge, that bridge, that bridge, and that bridge. 5 bridges. And I'm going to say for roleplay that will hinder us, and as a reward they get some extra airframes to use. So I'm going to say within balls of 5 miles destroy any bridge, which will tell them which bridge it is. Let's just check this accurate. There's not a bridge there, is there? No. Yep, balls within 5 miles destroy any of the 5 bridges, and they get an extra airframe. So that's that. So okay, we're getting a handle on this now. Excuse me, I just got to blow my nose. That Tunguska down there is a menace. That Tunguska has killed like 3 airframes. No one can get the bloody thing. So annoying. Right. So that's that. Done. Ships down here. Oh, I've got to delete our aircraft carrier. That got blown up, if you can believe it. So that is now dead. Make sure we've got that. Red Fleet is done. I'm not touching anything down there. So the next thing that needs doing, we've got our Reapers there, is we can go and look at making some of the SAM, the hard point SAMs, the static SAMs, a bit more realistic, because you were starting to look at that, weren't you? The SA-10s and stuff like that.
Yeah, taking advantage of the range between the command centre and the radars.
Roger. So let's just jump. I just need to get my head together with where these SAMs are. There's no way of really simplifying all these circles as far as I'm aware. So what have we got down here? I've got... Okay, we've got a book here. We've got an SA-3 there. So this book launcher here, I mean, they're scattered roughly by about a mile at the moment. The problem is, I mean, what would you see with a book then? Any ideas in terms of spread?
For that one, not necessarily, no. Because of where it is, really. It's in like an urbanish type area. It's tucked up out of the way.
It is.
And it's mobile, isn't it? It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Moving around the battlefield.
Roger. Okay, well, let's move on to this guy then, who is definitely static. This is an SA-3 here. This is just a template that Coffee put in, I think, to make this mission. He's put all the SA-3s in like a star formation like this. All within 2,000 feet of the mothership of the track search radar. Now SA-3, I mean, I don't know what if there's a limit. I mean, this is 60 technology. Is there a limit to the ranges we can put on these, or do they have to be quite close? What do you think about SA-3?
That one I've modified. I've moved them further apart, so they're further apart than the ones in the north. That should still work. I mean, you can't go to 40k, but it would be about 1,000 feet apart, because you don't want one bomb taking the whole site out.
Oh, so you've already done this, right? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, they're already they're 1,000 feet apart. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's see what else we've got.
It's only 250 meters. Don't forget, it's sort of 1,000 foot. It's not that far.
Yeah, Roger. Any idea how they would be linked in real life? Are they linked by radio or cable?
That I don't know. I think it's radio. I don't think any of them are cable.
Roger. Right. I'm going to look for this SA-3. I think this is already done.
And the Russians probably use pens and paper.
Roger. Okay, well, I'm going to move these. Yeah, that's probably. I'm going to move these apart then. Yes, SA-3 to 1,000 feet then. As well. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, about that. Got an SA-6. Where's the SA-6? Here it is. So that's active SA-6 here, but this spread looks pretty good already. What he's done is he's put them in little kind of tree enclaves on this hill. 3,000 feet, 2,000 feet, 1 mile. I mean, that's already a pretty good spread for an SA-6, isn't it?
I'm not sure if that was me messing around when I was trying to move the units that are in groups, or whether that was already done. I can't honestly tell.
Roger. Okay. Well, it seems pretty good anyway, and it's got a spread of Tunguskas around it and Iglas all within kind of 2 miles, so that feels pretty good already. Is there anything else you'd want to change about that SA-6?
No, it looks quite nice. As I say, it's tucked in. It's not in a straight line, so it can't be taken out with one swoop.
Just looking at it, does show it on a hill, but that hill is pretty. It's very whatever the opposite to steep is, so I don't think it's going to cause it a problem. Okay, so that's SA-6, SA-3. All those were checked as short-range units. The SA-3, the SA-6 combined was dead, so we've taken that out. Let's go and have a look, see what we see further in field. We have this. So this is what we call Coffee Phase 1, by the way, Fish. This is phase 1, and phase 2 is there. Phase 3 is there, but we'll worry about them another time. What I'll probably do is hand phase 2 and 3 over to you before we start using it.
Okay, no, yeah.
And then you can change it before we start meddling. Right, we've got here an SA-6 and SA-3 combo. They're out of range of today's fight. They're 25 miles from Bull, so I don't think they're going to play a part in today. But we can have a look at them. So I think Coffee's put them on a hill. He's got his little template of 250 feet. So let's spread them out a little bit then. to 1,000 feet for the SA3.
You could do. I mean, I'd leave them at the top of that one, to be honest, because they're nice
Yeah.
at the top of that hill.
Okay.
It's a nice little site.
Okay, for the SA6, which is combined in here, it's kind of got its typical spread here. So it's got one. He's got the top of the hill with a track search radar, one launcher near it, one launcher down the hill on this side, about a mile away, half a mile away, and another one down this side of the hill, about half a mile away. So that looks good, doesn't it? Let's see what else we've got. We've got Tunguska a mile away. Any other units? We've got Tunguska, we've got Strela. So, yeah, it all sounds alright to me, to be honest. So let's move down here. See what we've got down here, shall we? We've got a runway at Sanaki, and it looks like just short range. Yeah, short range, short range, short range, short range. Short range, short range, which leaves only the SA-10 up here. So SA-10, where are you little monkey? There's SA-10. Oh, we've got another SA-6 up here. So yeah, I mean, these are already pretty beautifully kind of spread again. This SA-6, 2,000 feet, 3,000 feet, 2,000 feet. 3,000 feet to a Guardian. That already looks pretty sweet. Now the SA-10 here is really bunched up. I don't know why I did this. So he's put them in kind of easily destroyable units, these launchers. For this is the SA-10, so this is the big one. What do you think about this SA-10 here?
What's it doing? What's it trying to defend?
So this is primarily defending this airbase here, Kutaisi, in Coffee Campaign. This is a primary base. So, and its SA-10 has a massive range, like 60 miles, so it can defend. It can shoot all the way to into the sea. So it's defending this whole area denial, mainly this base here, though.
Roger. So, where are you expecting the blue force to come from?
So they,
north, over the
yeah, the blues have always been predicted to come in like that.
Roger. Where is the air coming from? North or another carrier?
The blue air.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, always predicted it's going to come roughly on that kind of vector from the northwest is where the blue air is going to come from. But before you say put it in front of the base, we already had one in front of the base, but we've just blown it up. So I'm hesitant to move it too far forward.
Yeah, well, regarding this one by itself, if you put the launchers nearer the airfield, put the radar where it is already, that one I sent through to you, did you have a look at it?
Yeah, I did, but I just couldn't. I couldn't use it. I couldn't because of the way Coffee Campaign works. I just couldn't use that particular file.
That's fine. Basically, what I was playing with was I had the radar further away than the launchers. So you overflew the launchers without realising it.
Yeah.
Then, so you're concentrating on the radar.
Yeah.
You're looking ahead at the radar, and all of a sudden there's a missile coming up your trumpet, almost underneath you.
So if I move the missile launchers 7-8 miles over here near the base, and I leave the radar. I mean, the radar is a radar suite. You've got 4 different radars in here, so I'll leave them here. That sounds a good idea, doesn't it? And what about the spread? When I move these launchers, what do you think about the spread? They're in a nice little thing at the moment. Would they bunch together or would they spread? What do you reckon?
Oh, if they're permanently in place, they'd be bunched up and they'd be heavily fortified. You know, they'd be bunded and bunkered, but they're not. They're out on the battlefield, so they would be spread and hidden. So the launchers would be tucked up within the trees, probably.
Roger. I'm going to get that done.
It's the reason. Well, I mean, it's an anti-ballistic missile system originally. The Russians come up with. So it launches vertically to go up to the stratosphere.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, that's why it's got such a massive range. It was originally to shoot down American missiles.
Okay.
So it launches vertically, but it's just as good at taking out air targets.
That's amazing. Yeah, so this is one dangerous tool. I'm going to have to leave one of the launchers there just because of how he set it up, but so be it. Right, so a bunch of launchers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and hide them. I mean, hard for the A-10s to kill.
Well, they shouldn't detect. I mean, have they got? I mean, this fog of war. How effective is that? Are they going to see the launchers on their maps?
There should absolutely no reason why they should. Fog of war is off. There is, unless they see them with their eyes, there is no way of them detecting these launchers.
Yeah, Roger, because when I was playing my little attempt, I had the radar on the coast where these units are,
Yeah.
and I took off from that airfield.
Yeah.
And by the time you can get anywhere near the radar, the little bay on the
Yeah.
east coast,
Yeah.
I had the radar sites right on the coast,
Yeah.
and the launchers were about halfway between the airfield and the seaside.
Yeah.
And by the time you are overflying the launchers where your mouse cursor is,
Yeah.
you're looking at locking the radar sites, and then the launchers have already fired at you from behind.
You're such a horrible man. It's gonna hurt. Really is gonna hurt. Because what that does also is gives the launchers extra range, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Yeah, you're not looking for the launchers. Everyone's looking ahead, thinking they're bunched up. No one said the Russians have got to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the other thing is that down on the deck, obviously, this doesn't have 60 miles range. This has 15 miles range. So when we're attacking this, and we will do, we're going to be 15 miles out. Is going to be its limit on the deck there. But the problem is, what we don't know is we're actually only 5 miles out because the launchers are hidden ahead. So that's a cheeky little trick we'll have to start using. Okay, that's the SA-10. It's already got some Guardians around it, so I'm reluctant to add any more. It's already got a Tunguska, a SA-13, a SA-15, which are amazing weapons. A Shilka radar guided AAA, so I don't really want to add much more for the radars. Okay, so that's the SA-10. We've been over the SA-6. Next thing we have to look at is this base. This base is a strategically important base for the Reds. If they lose it, the next base they get is in phase 3, which is all the way down here, 100 and 200 miles to the east. So we need to look at defending this base. Now, the first problem I see with this base is that we've now got smart weapons in DCS. We've got JSOW and JDAM, and we can lob them. We can lob them 60 miles. So at the moment, I could lob a JSOW. I haven't given anyone this idea, luckily, so they haven't done it. But they could lob a JSOW from there onto that base. Literally, that's only within half its range, and that would just go and blow that runway up. And in Coffee Campaign, you're allowed to do anything you want. So what we need to do is defend against that. So let's just have a look what Guardians it's got here. It's got an SA-13. It's got a bunch of ZUs, which aren't really any good at all. It's got Strellas, 2 of them there. What was that? Yeah. It's got Manpads. More ZUs. It's basically... it's shockingly defended. So... and when I say that, it's because when Coffee did this mission, we didn't have all these smart weapons, obviously. So he didn't have to worry about this. But we do. So I think the only things that can shoot down these smart weapons are SA-15s. So I think I'm going to have to plonk a bunch of them in. And just say the Reds have moved them in on, because of this new threat.
Why don't they nuke it and then withdraw? Make it unusable?
Yeah, but that is a good idea. However... I do want this as our forward base, because what's going to happen is once we finally push the Reds out of here, the Reds get pushed back to here, okay? And then it becomes a long-range campaign. It becomes a over 100-mile campaign. And this I want as our closest forward operating base. That's the reason I'd like to do it rather than atomizing it. I'd like to take it as our FOB. Because what we're going to have to do is long-range operations. This is all going to be SAMs around here. We're going to have to launch long-range operations to kill these SAMs. And I want to be as close to them as possible, really. So I'd really, rather than atomizing it, I'd really like to have it as our command.
That's fair enough. I take it the Blue Force Air are going to need to tank or rearm and refuel for those.
So for phase 2 and 3, we've got to do 120 times 2, 240 plus manoeuvring miles missions. So we're going to need to clear this area, clear an area of SAMs, put some tankers up here, maybe above the north border or below the southern border, put some tankers and launch missions like that. Defend those tankers.
Will they be using tankers to get to the current Red fallback airfield there?
Don't know. Don't know. Haven't plotted the distances out yet. Maybe not. The way I usually do these missions is I'd have my tankers out, say down here, in a region of safety across the border, you know, whatever. And I would usually fly, tank, then do our mission, and then go back without tanking, because usually you're half as heavy on the way back and you can go twice as far. That's usually what we would do.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the Russians haven't got many tanker aircraft, neither do the Chinese at the moment. So they've got massive air forces, but almost no tanking capabilities. The first thing we would do is take out the tankers. So if you put tankers up for that strike on the airfield, and then put up red air to take out the tankers, that would cripple the attacking blue force launching JSOWs.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got to find a way of defending those tankers. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. For roleplay, I've got two ideas. I've got either I'm going to put the tankers in a neutral country where it can't be attacked, or find some way of defending them, like have a task force to defend them. Haven't decided yet. So, but anyway, that comes in phase 2, so I'm not going to worry too much about that yet. Right. So I want to defend. I want to take Kutaisi. It's a place that I want for my operations. So I'm going to defend it. And unless you've got any better ideas, I'm going to use Tors, because I know they can shoot down smart. They're the only things here with a radar that can shoot down smart weapons. Really quite clever. I don't know when they're 80s, I suppose they were, but they're very clever vehicles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them on red alert as well, so they're all ready to fire. Make it as hard as we can. Storm state. Red. Pew 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 pew.
We haven't got any jamming on the red force, have we really? As far as I can find.
What would constitute jamming? What is a thing that would jam?
Well, I mean, there'd be electronic jammers with the companies assaulting the river. They will take them with them, much like like the British Army would take their own little detachments. But if JSOWs can take out the airfield, then Red would know that, and they'd counter it by either keeping the aircraft back outside the 60-mile limit, or they would jam them.
Now, we don't have any jammers, though, do we, in DCS? Apart from the aeroplanes, which isn't much use.
No, because I watched that video on that one.
But we haven't really got anything we can do to simulate it. Because all we've got is aircraft jammers. Which is a pain in the butt.
What you could do, I would quite like to see them not know the mission until they start to take off, and then formulate a plan rather than formulate the plan before they take off. So if they try to penetrate that airfield, that would be very heavily defended with both air and ground. It'd be like going to Hanoi during the Vietnam War. It'd be awful.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Yeah. So I'm not going to simulate the ground forces yet because we're not attacking it yet, but we will do. We'll have a bloody battalion of tanks around it or something.
How about, could we engineer it so the attacking blue have to fly with the jamming? That jamming video you did, they've got to fly 10 miles apart, 2 miles apart?
Yeah.
Forcing them to fly in formation on the attack run, much like the Wild Weasels did.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, we can do that. So this SA-10's got 60-mile range, okay, in good conditions. If you're jamming, it's only got 20-mile range, or thereabouts, as we found out. So what we could have is a bunch of ground attack planes that are within the jammers of our air attack planes, which have much better jammers, and that will keep them invisible until 20 miles away. That's something we can look at.
And it'd make them fly in formation through the battlefield as well, which I don't know if they've done properly yet, not under fire.
It'd be interesting. Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
It'd be a pig.
Okay, well, I've got this defended now. I mean, no JSOW's going to get through now. In fact, I'm going to change it a little bit. What we're going to do is spread them out. So if JSOWs are coming in, they're coming from that way. So I want to shoot them down on their path that way. So I'm going to have a bunch of SA-15s all like that, all ready to shoot any JSOWs down. And a couple of backup ones. Where are they? A couple of backup ones here, just in case some get through. Okay.
Could you not put some further away, so overlap the ranges by half, so have some on the airfield itself and then some almost at the edge of their range, so they've got double layered defence?
Yeah, let me see what the range is. Range is about 5 miles. Yep, so I can put another ring out. Oh, this is going to piss the boys off, I can tell you that.
Oh,
One thing they don't like is tours. Or horrible vehicles. They'll just turn their radars off on you when you're trying to track them. Nasty. So we've got an inner layer here. They're probably not going to be much good, but it'll probably be too late by the time these guys get a track. We've got a secondary layer a mile out, which are probably going to be the ones that will take any JSOWs or JDAMs down because, you know, they're coming down from a high angle. And then an outer ring 5 miles or 4 miles away, which are kind of first response. So that is one serious, plus all your Strelas and all your ZUs and stuff like that, plus your SA-10 cheeky launcher that we've got. That is one heavily defended base, sir, and a backup SA-6.
It would be, because it's the mouth of that valley heading into the mountain. That would be half on the defence. Forcing them to either go north over the mountains, which the infantry wouldn't do, or having to come straight through that channel.
Roger. Okay, that's beautiful. So we're going so we're already going to punish the blues. So role play, what we're going to do is we're going to try and, if all goes well today, we'll push the blues across Ugdilly River and take this area here. Then next mission, we're actually moving back down here south, and we're going to try and take this area. And then we've got north and south. Then we're going to pincer all of this shit in between over the next 2 weeks. We've got planned roughly, if it goes well. And then after 2 weeks, the third week, we're going to be pushing on Kutaisi here, which is this big fortress that we've just set up. Excuse me. And that will be that. Okay, that's that lot set up. As for the actual mission, I need to set these Reapers up so they work. Other than that, I better change the aeroplane. So today we're going to be taking out these guys. So what we need is some vehicles to do it. This is a really hard mission, this is. Oh, it's an almost impossible mission. Trying to get CAS guys to attack these guys here, these red guys, with active red players here fighting against us. We've tried it so many times, it's so hard to do. And my idea, and the guys will never listen to me, but my idea is to play it safe. Have an A-10 here, 40 miles away, and just constantly scan with the T-pod and find these targets, and then translate the coordinates back to standoff JSOW slingers, F-18s, who will then just be slinging JSOWs at these things, at these vehicles, from 40 miles away. That's how I think this should be done. The guys won't listen to me. They'll want to go in with their guns and their bombs and their Mavericks, but I think that's the way to go. Or maybe 3 groups, 3 A-10s out here, all scanning with their T-pod, translating coordinates back to a group of 6 F-18 slingers who can sting on those coordinates. I think that's how it should be done. Bear in mind that we're not going to simulate the ground fight because I don't think our computer's going to handle it.
What I've not seen the UAVs be used really in the game. What functions do they actually
So what
possess?
they'll do, we can program them to. What they'll do is they'll scan within an area and they'll find a unit. I don't think they specify what unit they find. They just find a unit and they'll find this guy here. And then what they'll do is they are controllable so that you can get the coordinate of this guy here, or you can get this Reaper up here to laser it for you on a designated code. And then you can drop a laser guided bomb on it. So that stuff is pretty cool.
Roger. I take it once air have found it, the Reapers are easy to take out.
Very easy. Now, what we've got it set up is so that they've got invisible on. That means they're invisible to SAMs because they have a tendency to walk into SAM areas because they're AI, they're not human. But they're not invisible to humans. So if a human guy comes up here, he'll just shoot them down really easily. And these are a finite resource. So we're going to keep them fairly far away and try and keep them alive, I guess. They're sitting ducks, basically. As in real life, they're sitting ducks, aren't they? ECMs, but that's about it. Yeah,
they'd be a lot further south. They'd probably be near the rear end of the red columns, to be honest with you.
Well, these? Yeah, but as soon if that is immediately going to get taken out by flanker if that happened, though. It's going to take off, see that right on his radar, and bang him.
It'd be higher than probably about 40,000 feet. You could always put it on as invincible because ultimately
that's cheating.
Be sat there.
That's just not coffee campaign though. Everything can be killed in coffee campaign. That's the ethos. Because of that, I'd rather have them protectable. They wanted to make them invincible originally, but I said no. That's just you get a bit silly at that point. It's not how I like to do it.
Fair enough.
Well, I think I'll keep them on our side and just use them at the maximum of their range. I think is what I'll do. At 40,000 feet, however far I can put them up, I think I've got a teapot of about 30 miles, something like that.
I know the AI is quite good, especially some of the videos I've watched where you were doing the line of sight stuff, and they were picking you up and being quite intelligent. You've got those units called Hammer and Anvil, but everything seems to be done as a frontal assault. Why don't they come in from the side, go round over the mountains, and come in from the north?
Yeah, there's no reason at all why we shouldn't do that. It's great cover, really, isn't it?
Because you've got them. You'd effectively have them being, they'd all be busy fighting each other along the river, and then the aircraft should really go round the outside and come in over that SAM site, taking that out. Well, that little one by itself on the east, that's dead now, isn't it? There is a live SA6. There is a live SA6. There is a live SA3. So bang, 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 big 20-mile SAMs that need taken out. If they take out that easternmost SAM, you've got a massive area there with no cover, and then air can come in behind the columns and take out the columns from behind while being attacked from the front.
The only thing that scares me is you're in flanker land. Then these guys take off from here. They get 2 lives each, and those master flankers will just come out. They've got 20 miles, take us to pieces. Plus, you've got your launchers of the SA-10, which are here, which cover all of this area. So you're fighting with an SA-10 if you're going to do that. That's my problem.
But then, how easy do you want it? I mean, how long's the campaign been running now?
24 days. Why don't you come to, in terms of those tactics, why don't you come to the briefing tonight? Oh, you're at work, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm working till 7:30, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems, I see what you're saying, but what you're doing is you're running yourself into an SA-10 and a bunch of live flankers if you come around here. Whereas if we stay in here and do standoff attack, we've got a lovely big, where is he? We've got a lovely big Hawk system here with 25 miles or something range. It's covering all of our air up to here. I'd rather operate in the Hawk area if it was me.
Why hasn't that moved forward to support Blue, extending the air range over?
Yeah, something we do. Is this a transportable? I assume this wasn't a transportable unit. Maybe it is. Let's have a look. It is transportable, isn't it? Yeah, so I'd be happy with that. I don't want to move it right up to the coast because the hostiles get Su-25s and they can kill it. But I'm happy to move it up somewhat. If
you moved it further forward and probably halfway.
Yeah, it's like that. Something like that.
Yeah, the technical term is a tactical bound. So you would only move as far as you're capable of fighting. So you'd move that as far as it's able to defend itself. So Blues could then move forward the length of their own column into the red area with a degree of point defence from the anti-air.
Roger. And this is about 25 miles range. So now, maximum. So now it can reach out right to there, at least at high altitude. So it gives us a bit of more fighting. It almost mirrors the red SAMs over there. Okay, happy with that. And I'm not going to defend it with Guardians because Blues, we like to make everything as hard as possible. So that's right. We've got a bit more SAM coverage now. Okay, I need to sort today's aeroplanes out. So this is got some big uns. It's going to be this is S8. This is A10C territory. I think this mission. So I'm going to take all the C101s out. No, I'm not. A10C. I'm going to take. Got 3 Vigans over here that don't need to be here. You can go away. A10Cs, take them out. Put them in, sorry. Okay, that's a bit weird.
That's a Gate Guardian.
What the hell is that doing there? That was weird. Right, got 4 A10Cs there. The C101s, they're going to reduce. I really want to find a purpose for the C101s in this mission, in this campaign. A8Bs have got GBUs that might be useful. I'm not convinced, but A10As we'll put in there for noobs like me.
Thought you had every packet, every module.
Do, but it's too hard to fly the A10C. Did you fly it?
I've had a go at the A. I've got Flaming Cliffs.
Yeah, that's easy. I can do that.
Bloody slow though.
Yeah, I don't recommend them for many missions, to be honest. They're just so slow. It's impossible to guard the bloody things. Right.
Well, it's only really designed for anti-tank. It's got the other role, not combat support, but it's a tank killer. It's designed to flow low and slow over sort of air superiority ground, taking out Russian tanks.
That's the problem. Our guys tend to use them as strike missions, and they're a nightmare. They ruin everything, but they can't run away. They can't come in fast with a quick opportunity. They can't run away when the opportunity is there. So it ends up we lose our fighters because our fighters are trying to defend 250 knot slow hogs. We lose all of our tactics. But it's them done. We're going to need a bunch of Hornet slingers today, I think. I'll try and convince the boys. Mirage. F14. F5. F15. 4 Hornets. Okay, I might put a couple more Hornets in. Beautiful. That's our planes done. Right. Very happy with that. The fleet's still pretty much disabled. So what I need to do now is to get some intel. So I'm going to get some rough coordinates for these guys here. Not enough to bomb on, but at least an idea of where they are. In fact, no, I'm going to make them work for it. I'm not going to give them that. What I shall give them is, we need a picture of the battlefield. So, done all of that, so we need to go in. And we need a picture of the bridges. It'll be interesting to see how the red attacked the bridges today.
So I've not looked at the AI and stuff and the waypoints and the programming. I think they'll just roll along and then just start blowing it up in some fashion.
Who's this? What are we talking about? The Reds?
Yeah.
Well, the Reds are human driven on this campaign.
I mean the ground stuff, or is it combined up?
Right, yeah, but I'm not gonna make the ground vehicles actually move on this particular mission, because what it will do is it will probably crash our server if we have all of that moving along with all of our airplanes.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. What will happen is they'll move. They'll start moving. They'll start jerking about, and it will get worse and worse because the server will start lagging.
So the guys that are playing red, do they ever get a chance to swap to blue, or are they just always on a bit of a hide-in and going to lose?
It's option. They get to choose before each game, for each match, whether they're going to be red or blue. So they get to change, but because the Reds only get flankers as their planes, it's usually the top flanker guys that go on that red side. Come on, DCS, start. The main problem we've got is this mission is a year old, and the mission file's getting a bit corrupted now, so it keeps crashing.
I imagine they're getting pretty big as well.
Yeah. They're just not really designed for, not designed for this to be edited this many times, so there's not much we can do about it. I hope that's saved, otherwise I'm going to be awfully upset.
Do you pretty much work on this full time?
Yeah, pretty much. It's about 9-10 hours a day, 7 days a week. You never really stop.
Yeah. I see you. I get out of bed with the kids and it's Cat has posted a video.
Yeah. So it is. The problem I've got is that I can't work on anything part time. It has to be, whenever I do anything, it has to be all the time or nothing. I was trying to explain it in the meeting for the guys yesterday. It's just a problem. We've got problems at the moment with campaigns, people participating and making the missions. Very political.
I was listening to it last.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Right, did it save my... That's moved forward. Has it got my A10s? It has. So let's try running it again. Come on, don't crash. No crashy.
I have to say, I found you very funny in one of your Thunderdomes, like last week.
I don't remember. When was the last Thunderdome? Oh, we did well. We won, didn't we? We won one.
I tried one last night on the public server and failed and physically embarrassed myself.
It's really hard.
When you were playing with your mate Sherman, you were backseating for him.
Oh no, that was with Stahl. That was I remember that. That was funny.
I was killing myself.
We found.
I want him.
We found the best plane for that. You think a best plane would be an F-15 or an F-18 or a Mirage. The best plane was like the training planes, the C-101, L-39. People are so not used to fighting against them. And bear in mind, this is guns only. There's no missiles. They're so manoeuvrable compared to big, 20-ton fighters. And so we just survived every match, even though we had like almost no weaponry. So
I tried the flanker, and it was I was doing about 1,000 knots.
It'd be impossible.
It was insane.
It's just not built for contained dogfighting like that. It's almost impossible to fly a 25-ton plane. Try a Tomcat then. 25-ton plane in that area is just a nightmare. Right, what am I doing? Oh yeah, right. Engagement areas. Jesus, look at that! That's a lot of engagement areas. So I've got to go and get the mission in Soquadada. Something like that. So if I take a screenshot of that, pew, that would be that. So I'm going to say that is the SA3, that's the SA6, that's the SA6, that's the SA10, that is the Hawk. Now we need a picture of the bridges. Look, those helicopters are doing exactly what I asked them not to, so I'll have to go and fix that in a minute. They're just flying around like knobheads. Oh, and in fact, no, there's a bunch of them I haven't spotted, obviously. What are they all doing?
Yeah, there'll be a big transport, because you're limited, because DCS has got a lot of kit in it, but hasn't really got proper kit. It's got some random stuff, so there's a big transport aircraft that will fly fuel and spares around. There's a couple of small sort of little ZA9 sort of gunships, but you've only got Gazelles, and then you've got a couple of the Mi-24s up front.
Look, they're kind of running like little sorties in here.
It looks almost realistic.
Yeah, it's cool. I've got to keep them away from that Hawk launcher is the only thing. But otherwise, that's pretty cool. In fact, they might defend themselves, question mark. Pew. No, they won't. Look, he just got shot down by one of these guys. Right, so I'll have to go and fix that quickly. Otherwise, that's pretty cool. So, where were those helicopters coming from? They don't show on this map for some reason. This is what I mean about...
No, they should. That'll be them there. If you look south, I think it was them in the middle of the southern company.
Roger. So waypoints I've put are good. So why are guys going out here? I haven't put any waypoints to go out there. It's really weird. Him. Not told him to go there. Him. I've not told him to go past the river. Him. I've not told him to go past the river. Let's make double sure of that. Keep within your area, sir. Stay out of the area. Try that. Save that. But he ignores me. They usually do. Go. AI units tend to have a mind of their own.
Yeah, I mean, I see these people complaining about bugs that pop up, but if you think about the complexity of the system that's got to run this, it's immense.
Thing is, there's so many dependencies. This guy's, what he actually does depends not only on the orders I've given him, but hostile radar coverage, all sorts of things that you don't think about. He ignores me again, look. He's going to go straight into the blues again.
He's obviously got a stiffy for that unit.
It's a little bit frustrating. The only thing I need to identify which unit it is that's doing this. That's a hell of a thing. Desperately wants to get shot down. Must have some weird order that I don't know about.
None from me. They were just
Yeah, it's
set.
weird, isn't it? Just let me go and have a look. Oh, it's because we've told them to be cast. Okay, well I might have to change their role then to nothing. No, to let's try nothing.
What would escort do?
Escort will. I don't know. Is the answer? Oh, we've got some gazelles in there. How about that? I'm going to try nothing first and see what happens. I think they'll still defend themselves, but they won't. Oh, hang on, no, but they won't just go off and do what they want. Well, I say that I don't really know. I'm just about to find out, I suppose. So if we charge in, they're still. Wouldn't it be funny if one of these shot down one of our A10s? I think that would be funny.
It has happened, I think.
Yeah. Try that again. I just don't want them to all run into our hawk with a stiffy and just all get shot down. It's just complete pointless for everyone. I tell you, one thing it's going to do is confuse the shit out of our radars.
In what way?
Because if I'm an F-15 here and I'm pointing toward my radar towards this way, it is going to be full of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24 helicopters or something. That should be interesting. I think it'll be fun.
Well, they want realism. They bang on and on about, oh, it's not realistic and it's a realistic sim. But you know, this would be the fog of war.
Roger.
You have to pick your way.
Roger. Okay, that's better. They're doing what I want now. So now I've told them to just do nothing. They'll just fly around. They'll defend themselves if they're ever attacked, but otherwise they're not actually going to do anything. So that sounds better to me. Okay, that's that sorted. Hopefully I've got enough waypoints to keep them going for a while. In fact, just in case I haven't, I'm just going to put an orbit in there. So, helicopter through to the end. If he gets to waypoint 9, give him a pew orbit. You end of the waypoints. Give him an orbit. You give him an orbit. Him. Oops. Orbit. And finally him. Right, so that's the mission. So all I've got to do is I've got to put the briefing sheet together now. So orbit, that's them done. Put time of day. Weather, I'm going to keep it clear because A10s are never going to be able to operate with cloud on or heavy cloud. So I'm going to keep it clear. I'm going to keep the winds.
Yeah, got a heart.
Yeah. Fog's going to stay off today. That's that. Time of day. Morning. It's going to be a morning strike. Save. Oops, I've saved it as day 23. That's silly. Save as day 25. That's all I need now is go and grab those screenshots. Okay, so if I go, pew, things I want to point out are the SA3, the SA6, SA6, the SA10, the vehicles, point out the heli is operating. That should be everything there. Point out that is a hawk. I need to somehow point out. You know, I'm tempted to add some blue helicopters to kind of balance it out.
They would have their own as well.
Yeah.
Limited to Russian. Well, you've got the Hueys and stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking just to have them again buzzing about. I think I might do that at the last minute.
I think you stick a couple of gazelles in with the alley.
Yeah, we'll do. So that's that. So I'm gonna just Hito. I don't know why I did that. That there. So we've got that, and I need to point out an area of red. I don't know how I'm going to do this quite. Something like, no. How about pink? That is what we're aiming at today. Ground battalion, double T, battalion. Doesn't double, single T, double T. That's what it matters. Battalion there. So that's that. Ping. Ping. I can point out the fleet are in base now. Okay, that's picture 1 done. Save as ping. Picture 2 is going to be the bridges. So we've got targets, bridges, there, 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 and there. All within 5 miles of balls. Save that as Untitled 1. Right, now I'm going to go and make a briefing sheet. So, pew. Where will I find a briefing sheet? Clicks. There. There. So, Grim Reapers, day 25. So today we're going to have... So we've got Tomcats, Eagles, both with cap, Escort, Escort. We've got Escort Mirage. We've got Cass, more or less, is what today is. We've got Hog. And we've got Cass. And we've got Hornet. I think that might have to be me today. Cass.
How do you decide what you're doing if you're the one writing the campaign?
Hey?
If you're flying in it and writing it, how do you decide where you sit?
Well, it's results based, so I can just go ahead and do that, because if we fail this mission and we all get shot down, then I'll make day 26 just based on how well we've done, basically. And there's not really any secrets that I can know that the other guys don't know, to be honest, so it works pretty fine.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
27... No, stop it, you fucker. Oh, I'll give up. Okay, so that's going to be that. So, overview is day 25th, day 23 at 7. This mission is no longer relevant, so we need image and cell. We need him. Well, any fucking time, sweetheart. That's that. We're going to do tasking, which will be done on the day. No, it won't. It will be tasking is sign up is Dagger, Halo, and Chevy at the ground attacks. Dagger, Halo. Why does that not let me put what I want? Where does this picket ship from? Don't know. Halo? Fucking blood. Okay.
You need a cup of tea, I think.
Yeah, we'll sort that out later. I do need a cup of tea. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. Well, I want to finish this now. Sort that out later. Nav, all the same. It was 7 knots and it was 12 knots. It was still the same direction. The crowd is 6. Stars are clear. Quabillet is choppers only, but we're not doing anything today with choppers. AWACS Overlord. Intel. So on the stop press, blue armored battalion ready to push over Zagdidi River, but need red armoured battalion to be weakened by air for this to work. Notice to all airmen, Zagdidi River area, river bridges are vital for this push to go ahead. Ensure they are protected. Stop. Targets for blue is west of river, east river. The type is an armoured battalion. Priority is high. Threat to our cap fighters, AAA and radar guided SAMs. That's all correct. And IR plus IR. Target is armoured. Mixed armoured battalion with full short range anti-air what would you call it, units. Not going to have an image. India is an AWACS. Target Bravo is 6 times bridges within 5 miles of Bulls. Priority is high. Threat same. Target infrastructure. Must protect bridges from red. Must protect bridges from red bombing attempts. So I need to tell the Reds about that. That picture. Same shiz. Oversells. Pew. We can talk about that. I'll write myself a note for later. So blue choppers, what I'll put in. Sort Reaper AI needs doing. Red bridge briefing. Put this in here. Okay, we'll talk about that again. Same threats. Ground forces. This is all now completely inaccurate. So what I'll say is blue armored battalion type mixed location Zag River. Coordinates priority is high. Threats all targets red battalion. Description as flow. This is the amount of units we have. Hopefully won't get any destroyed. Of course we will. Updated. Yep. Flights sort out later. Target images. Going to have the bridges there. So insert images over cells. Bridges. There. And that's it. That's it. We've got a few notes to make to change before the mission, but otherwise, anything you want to add to that, Fish?
No, that's cool. It looks looking quite tidy.
It is a good mission. Big good mission.
So that's tonight they're going to play 7 o'clock.
Yep, so tonight we're going to do 7 o'clock. We do about half to 1 hour briefing because there's a lot of very technical briefings we have to do for this. Then we'll go and fly it. Then we'll analyse it, and I'll make a little video of it.
And that'll be up what, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, should be up on Tuesday. All going well. Fingers crossed. So you can see how it's all gone. Probably a nightmare. It's a really hard campaign. This is really hard. There's so much trying to shoot you down. Not easy at all.
Well, I suppose that is the idea.
Yeah, it was always designed to be as hard as we could make it. Roger. All right, Fish. I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to finish the bits up, and then I'll catch up with you whenever you're free next.
No, lovely, mate.
Right,
thank you. Nice chatting.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.